Hi guys, it's your boy Gadgetman404 here, and we need to talk. As you may or may not be aware, remote ID is a big thing in the US at the moment, and in September the 16th-ish it's going to be a thing. Even if you fly like a tiny whoop but you're doing it for money, you need to have remote ID transponder or whatever you want to call it installed onto said drone, and the drones weigh like 20 odd grams, so the module will probably weigh more than the actual drone. So then would it be even possible for the drone to carry this transponder? So like everything that happens in the world, guys, if we get bad weather in America, a few weeks later it comes to England. So do you really think, guys, that the remote ID is just going to be a USA thing? Because I believe it's coming here. And what can we do about it? I don't think anything, because like in America, the big companies out there, FedEx, Google, Amazon, all these delivery companies, even maybe Royal Mail, because Royal Mail have been testing these pilot drone or pilotless drones that are flying from one place to the Isle of Skye or to Portland Bill or somewhere, and they've been trialling it, carrying loads, flying across the sea to another lighthouse, dropping off parcels at another post office type thing, and then the Royal Mail are going to collect them and take them to their destinations. Now, the reason I say that, I've seen the adverts on YouTube, that's how I know about it. And there's two models. There's like a plane style that literally comes off a runway, takes off, big payload, no pilot, mission planner, and lands in another runway over there. They take all the parcels out, shut it back up, send it back, and up to now it's working very well. There's also like a VTOL style drone, so vertical takeoff, so the drone can be take off from anywhere that's flat surface, take off, transcend into its plane orientation, so the motors are facing up like drone motors, twizzling around, and then when it transitions they go forward like a plane, and they'll have 2 or 4 on each wing, etc., and 1 on the tail to keep it sort of level. They've been trialling that for a while. 2 companies have got their trial contracts. I don't know who Royal Mail are going to use, but it's a thing. So if they want to do that, they need clear skies to do this, guys. And you think the regulations that we've just got aren't going to get more restrictive because you're living in cloud cuckoo land. Anything that goes off in America, we all know it comes here. It's always going to come to the UK. What can we do about it? Well, you can join these umbrella style clubs like FPV UK or something, and they may have some exemptions, but like in Canada they had an exemption that certain drones you didn't have to register them. So loads of people were buying the sub 250 drones because you didn't need to register them. And I think this year in certain, not all of Canada, but in a certain area of Canada, they now have changed the rules, and they're now saying that you have to register all drones sub 250 and above. Well, we all knew that over 250 grams you had to register, but anything under 250 in certain places, in America as well, you don't have to register the drone if it's under 250 grams. Even in the UK, if it's under 250 grams and it has a camera, you have to register the drone. Now, it's still classed as low risk to harm humans, property, livestock, blah blah blah, but you still have to register, and it's gone up. It was £9 to register when I first registered my drone a few years ago, it was £9. It's now £10.33. So it's only gone up by £1.33. But give it another few years, it'll go up to £15 and then £20. And that will probably put people off, because you have to do the online test thing. Although it says if it's under 250 you don't have to, but we strongly advise that you do. And anything over 250 you have to. You have to have your number on the drone, carry the little you fly ID with you, so if anyone taps you on the shoulder you can show them, say, yeah, I've done the test, I've passed, etc, etc. Insurance isn't a necessity, it is a choice. And if you're doing a job, then it's probably an idea to get some sort of insurance. There's lots of companies out there, and I've seen it for as little as £5 a day. You ring up the company, you tell them what drone you've got, you tell them where you're going to be flying, you tell them the time slot from 10 till 12 or whatever, and then you pay the £5. I think it covers you for the whole day, but if you give them a time slot, you have to fly within that time slot, because if you had an accident outside the time slot, then they're going to say you're not covered. Because any insurance company, as you well know guys, if they can get out of paying you, they will. So I'm doing this video because Bot Grinder did a video, or Bot Grinder, and he said, come on guys, do a video. No one's really doing lots of videos about what can we do about remote ID. Now, it isn't a thing in the UK, but I do believe it will come here, and maybe joining some sort of clubs in the UK may give us some exemptions of this ruling. But because it's not here yet, that is only my guesstimation that this is what possibly could happen, not necessarily that will happen, because we don't know. They're probably talking about it, and they've probably been talking about it for a while, but it isn't a thing that we have to do at the moment. But it could be a thing we will have to do at some time. So have your say guys. Do you believe that this remote ID, or we may call it something else, is coming to the UK? And if so, what can we do about it guys? In America, they were trying to increase the weight from the 250 grams to 1 kilogram, and still saying that that is safe. That's a safe weight of a craft. But I think it's fallen flat on its face. I don't think the FAA are going to allow that ruling. It's a suggestion by the FPV Coalition and all the other organisations like Flight Test Academy and all that kind of thing that's going off in America. Because originally, as you know guys, they talked about these FRIAs. You can only fly your drone in a FRIA if you're not in a club. Now, there's 20,000 people in America that fly drones. That's you know, just a generalisation of a number. But there's only like a few hundred FRIAs in the whole country. And people believe that they could try and get their property as a FRIA. But that isn't the case. They are declining these requests. So they tell you, well, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then when you do it, they turn you down anyway. I don't know if that's the way we're going to go over here, because I don't fly mainly over, I never fly over people, or even residential areas. I fly in fields where there is no one other than me and a few trees and some hedges and maybe a few cattle, but I try and avoid those fields where the cattle are. So if my drone did come down, it isn't going to hurt the livestock, because the farmer's not going to be happy, and I don't want to damage my drone. If my drone hits a cow, I think my drone is probably going to come off worse than the cow. But that said, what do you guys think? Will the remote ID come to the UK? Geeks Varna seems to be very in with the CAA, and he's always doing interviews with the CAA about different aspects of our hobby. Now, because he's like, is he a business type drone stuff, that he's following all the rules to the letter because he's trying to keep them sweet so he can continue to do what he's doing? Or is he genuinely giving us information because he feels that it's the right thing to do? You see, some people have an ulterior motive of why they tell you whatever they tell you, because it's good for their channel. If he's giving us all this information and we're not really listening to anyone else, then he's going to get more subscribers. So it's like feathering his nest in a way. He's giving us information. There's not many content providers, makers, whatever, that are giving that same information. So, you know, it's like, well, listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. And he isn't mentioning anything about remote ID, but I think he probably does know more than he's letting on, because he's having meetings with the CAA like every other month. Because he's done tons of videos about it, about other stuff, and he's talking to the top dogs in the CAA. So he has some weight behind his channel. He's been guests on Ken Heron and Philly Drone Live and Original Dobo, I think. Definitely Ken Heron, maybe the other two, I'm not so sure about. But he has been guests on these American shows and putting what he thinks will happen, but trying to be diplomatic about it, because it's not here yet, but it's possibly coming. So we've just got to watch this space, guys, and have your say in the comments. And other guys watching my video, make a video yourselves talking about remote ID and what do you think it means for the UK market, because I think it's coming. Whatever happens in America, not long after comes over here. In September it's going in America, so next year sometime, early next year, mid next year, the same sort of thing could be coming to us, and then that could restrict our hobby even more. I mean, it's quite restrictive now for 250 drones, so anything over 250, there's different categories, like there's the open category and there's A2 CFC and all that kind of stuff. I don't do it for a job, I fly my drone for fun. I've just repaired one of my drones after waiting for parts for months and months to come. It works, it flies, the beeper works. If I had a beeper on my other drone, probably would still have that drone, but I don't. I know it's in a field, but I've looked up and down that field 100 times and I haven't come across it yet. But maybe somebody has walked in that field walking the dogs, found the drone and walked off with it, because it was fully kitted out, 7-inch props, massive motors, FPV transmitter, FPV camera, massive battery, antennas and a GoPro camera on the top. So a good rig and a long range receiver. So, but something wasn't quite right, because my battery voltage at taking off was going up to 30 amps at times, and the battery voltage just went zoom, and then it come down in the field. And I looked in that field, and I've been looking for weeks now, flying another drone over the field looking down, still not managed to find it as yet. I am absolutely shattered. These hot nights, you're not sleeping, and I'm doing long hours, working my days off, etc, etc, because I'm a carer in the community. I'm just waiting outside a house to go and help with lunch, etc. That's it really, guys. Just wanted to put a video together. I've been Gadget Man 404. You guys have been awesome as always. Stay safe, fly safe, keep each other safe, and I catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Leave comments, guys. check out my other channels. There's Playlists, there's Mavic Mini, there's Bebop, there's Hubsan Zeno, there's Parrot Anafi, there's you know, the DJI Mini original. Fantastic little drone. Have a look. I've got reviews on stuff, mods on stuff, and I've also got camera setup stuff. So not just drone stuff, there's a bit of everything for everyone. Have a look, see what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.